I was doing some. I was looking at your bio and I seen like the styles of music you play. You got hip hop, R&B. Then I saw one that I wasn't familiar with. You know exactly. I'm like, so what is eclectic soul?
You know what's crazy? No one has asked me that question.
Alright, what's going on, y'all? This is Kai Speaks, and this is Talented Tuesdays, brought to you by the GoldenKey Foundation. We in here with my man DJ Mari, who's going to introduce himself, tell us where he's from, how he got into his talent, and what your talent means to you.
Sure. So, start off, I'm from Orlando, Florida. Born and raised in Orlando. I moved around a little bit growing up, but Orlando was definitely my majority of my upbringing. I started DJing probably 4 years ago. And to me, DJing just means expression. I feel like I've always loved music, but it wasn't until I was able to like express it and get like high energy feedback and like the creativity aspect of it that really fostered the love.
Right. What was that breaking point for you 4 years ago that really like made you say, you know, I just gotta get into DJing. No matter what, I'm gonna make this happen for myself.
So it's not really dramatic, which is funny. So like I said, I like music, so I always had music on my laptop. And it wasn't until I came to college that people kind of recognized that, oh, this guy has, you know, ear for music or whatever. And it just so happened, people heard about me just knowing music, and I would be like in the dorm room or in the cafeteria listening to music or whatever. People would stop by and be like, yo, are you a DJ? I'm like, nah. This is 4 years ago, you feel me? I'm like, nah. And they're like, okay, but you sitting here on your laptop with some mixing software up. You look like you don't gotta really tell me, you feel me? But you look like a DJ. And I'm like, nah, that's not a DJ. But then it was one of my homeboys actually decided he wanted to take the initiative and start throwing parties on campus. So the first person he asked to play music was me. Okay. And I'm like, nah, bro. You feel me? He's like, but you a DJ. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, you know me and you know that's not true. He's like, you know enough music to where if we gave you the aux cord, whatever you do on your laptop, just do that at the party. Right. And I was like, yeah, no.
And then what happened after that? He said no. Like,
I was like, yeah, no. But then he was like, I'll pay you. I was like, all right. Yeah, I mean, I guess.
So did you have like, okay, so first of all, what was the software that you had on your laptop?
I had virtual DJ.
That's what I thought he was gonna say, man.
That's the one, man.
Me and my LB used to have virtual DJ on our laptops, just mixing and stuff. Like we ain't never, go into it like that, but we just had fun with it. But I figured that was the one you was gonna say. So did you have like when did you get the turntable and stuff like that for it?
So after I did that event, and I got the feedback. That's what really kind of changed it in my mind for me, because I'm playing music, and anytime I play a good song or a hype song, like that's always how I get my energy or whatever. But the first time I felt like me put my energy onto a crowd of people, to where I play a song that I vibe to, where everybody's like, "Oh shoot!" and I play another one, I play another one, I play another one, and just keeping that energy. Like the feedback I got back from was like, "Yo, you lied to us, first of all." But yeah, you did something you need to keep doing. So I probably did maybe 5 more parties off my laptop after that until the summer. And then at the end of that semester, that summer, I was like, let me just go ahead and buy some equipment. Worst case scenario, I sell it. You feel me?
Right.
Buy some equipment, learn how to work it, and see where it goes. And it went pretty far.
So how was it DJing that first party without the equipment, trying to do everything off your laptop? Like, did you find it overwhelming in the beginning or anything, or did you get comfortable with it?
So what's crazy about virtual DJ is it's so easy, but it's not like at that level. I was able to do easy transitions. Like there's a button to fade in and out or whatever. And so because that's how I literally listen to music. Because my pet peeve was I hate it when I listen to a song and there's like that 10 seconds of just nothing at the end of the song, and I'm just sitting there in the shower like
waiting for the next song to come up.
Waiting for the next song to come up or whatever. So I would use virtual DJ to just make quick mixes. So I was so familiar with those shortcuts that when I did it at a party, it was really just song selection was all I had to worry about. It wasn't until like I started learning the controllers of DJing, like Pioneer and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of hard. But the software virtual DJ, man, y'all can go pick that up and DJ a party tomorrow if y'all wanted to. That's easy. Yeah,
I think like you said, it's very easy. The most difficult thing of virtual DJ is probably like picking the songs and then throwing them on the little track thing. What is eclectic soul?
You know what's crazy? No one has asked me that question. And you asking me that question has made this entire interview for me. Like, I'm happy. I'm good.
Yeah, man. I gotta know what eclectic. I'm saying it right?
Eclectic soul.
Okay.
Yeah. So eclectic soul, hopefully in the next few years, is a way more popular genre. It's basically the kind of music that takes old school songs and remixes them with a more upbeat song. And so anytime I try to explain to someone, examples always help. But people have heard eclectic soul songs before. Of course. There just wasn't really a word for it. There's a guy now who does the Apple Music Selection Radio.
Okay.
If you've ever heard anything from Selection Radio, a lot of their songs feature that kind of remix, upbeat. I took an old song, I sampled the vocals, I added a new twist. Kind of
basically like cookout vibes where you're doing like electric to slide to like newer songs.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if you took like a future song, but was able to electric slide to it.
What is this? Like, I gotta ask.
No, yes.
That's interesting. So yeah, like you basically just gave it a genre right there. Is that something that you created, or that's something like where did you hear that term from?
That's what we listened to in Orlando. And so when I came down here, nobody knew it.
So you was putting everybody on.
And I would play a song just in my car or whatever, and people were like, yo, what is this? Because once you play like 4 or 5 of them, you start to understand that, okay, this is actually a kind of music. This isn't just like one sample or one this or that. Because there's artists who might take a sample and do something that kind of sounds like eclectic soul, but when you have like 100 tracks that all encompass the same kind of emotion, that's how you know it's the genre. So I guess eclectic soul.
Eclectic soul, man. Write that down. Y'all just learned something new on Talented Tuesdays from DJ Mari. Eclectic soul. I guess this is a good time to mention, if you are watching right now, the comment section is open. Leave comments, ask questions that you think I might be missing, and anything you want to know. You got some people waving. Shout out my little page, Miss AK85. You guys are on every week. I appreciate you guys. So my next question for you, Mari, would be, what has been your best experience so far being a DJ?
I did a yacht party probably 2 years into DJing. For like 700 people, because it was a sorority, so they rented out like a 3-story yacht, and just like it was their end of year thing or whatever. And so I'm, for one, nervous because that's really the transition for me playing like huge gigs. Yeah, like the most high I played to previous to that was maybe 100 people. So it's like, all right, now you're playing in front of 700 and you're on a boat with no Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really like download music on the fly if something comes up or whatever. Like you really gotta have your entire. You need to know what you're about to do. Yeah. But once I got out there, and to have that many people, the more people you have on a vibe, honestly, I feel like the adrenaline is the greatest. Like that's why it compares to if you're an artist and you're performing to 10 people, as opposed to performing to 10,000 people. Even though you're getting the same energy from those 10,000, being in front of that crowd and that energy is literally like is in the air almost. So that having that many people in the middle of the ocean with a nightlife atmosphere, all on one vibe, and being able to like drop the songs and whatever, that was definitely one of the best experiences of my DJ career.
Okay, and so you already out. One of my questions is that process for you trying to get your first gig, and you already explained that it wasn't really a process. This kind of just like fell in your lap. Sort of. So like, I know you had feelings of like neglect, for lack of better words, because you didn't really want to do it at first. But like, once you decided to do it, once he said that he was going to pay you, and you decided to do it, how much time did you have to prepare, and how did you prepare? Because I'm just trying to help the people out that might be watching that maybe want to go into DJ.
So honestly, to learn controllers and like the software, you can do that in a month. Like you can honestly get on YouTube, get you a controller, learn what you got to do in a month. I would say some of the more important videos I watched were when to transition from practicing in your bedroom to walking up somewhere and asking for money to play music. So that transition for me probably took 6 months to a year, honestly, because you get to a point where, you want to promote yourself. So it's like you want to perform as much as possible, but you also get to a point where you have to understand, okay, I've gotten to here in my craft, you got to start charging. And you're going to lose out, you know what I'm saying? You're probably going to perform less gigs, but it's a sensitive spot. I would say a month to get the software, get the controller stuff down, maybe 3 to 6 months of networking, practice, play for some people. Do it in that time, like last 3 months, you're doing free gigs to test yourself out, test the waters, build up resume. After that, you're ready to go.
Yeah, and did you, in terms of that networking and building yourself up, like the free gigs, like you mentioned, did you ever set up a speaker outside of campus or anything like that and just play out in public, just
definitely. So you got to be persistent with anything. And my biggest thing learning when I was DJing was it's a lot of different jobs starting out as a DJ. So there's certain clubs you could work for. But if you work as a DJ, you're also the promoter. If you work as a promoter, sometimes you're also the event curator. You know what I'm saying? You're the event curator now. You don't got no bread. You security. You feel me? So it's a lot of different things you have to do. And I definitely started out just let me get a speaker, let me go outside and play music, let people hear me, because it was easier for me on a college campus. I can go outside and there actually, there's people there.
Right.
I can set up at the pool and just get my face around and who's this or who's that and network and say, add me or whatever. Because DJing is a lot of networking, bro. Like 70% networking, bro. So, yeah. It was a couple of times where I said, all right, I'm going to sit outside, play music for 2 hours just to work on my mix. That could be in that 3 to 6 month period before you start charging people where you say, I'm not gonna practice in my bedroom. I'm gonna go practice outside.
And the best part about that is you providing free entertainment for the students on campus. Like you just providing good vibes for everybody on campus. Like the question that what made me ask that question was, man, I remember my years at Cheney. Shout out DJ Mike. He would just set up. First he started, he would put a speaker at this bedroom window, just be in his bedroom. But then he started setting up outside the dorm rooms and just playing music while we walk into class and stuff like that. Just having everybody ready to party after class, wind down and everything like that. So that's definitely good networking. So when you first got started, what were some of the challenges that you faced?
So I would say my biggest challenge is knowing whether to quit or keep going. And that's a challenge that I feel like any entrepreneur is gonna face. Simply because it takes a lot to get started. And I thought I'm so positive that if I want to plan something, I'm gonna host an event, I'm gonna meet with a restaurant owner. I'm gonna tell him, hey, I got this, I got that. Let me host an event in your space. I'm gonna invite people. 500 people are gonna show up. Everybody's gonna have a great time, whatever. And that wasn't the case for a couple of my first events. And so when everything's going right and you're putting in the work to actually find a restaurant owner who's willing to let 18-year-old, which was I was at the time, set up some speakers and invite more 18-year-olds to come into his spot and do whatever, to get that settled. Printing out 1,000 flyers and passing them out yourself, doing the promotion yourself, and then 10 people show up, and it's like,
yeah, man.
But the people who succeed are the people who 10 people show up, cool. I'm gonna vibe with these 10 people. I'm gonna make sure I get network with all these 10 people, and then I'm gonna start my next event tomorrow, and I'm gonna have 20 people.
Yeah.
So it's that mentality.
Because you got those 10 people that show up. If you focus on being upset that only 10 people showed up, you can't really go nowhere. But if you focus on, trying to vibe with that 10 people, now you got 10 people that enjoyed themselves. They're going to bring another 2 people with them. Now you got 20 people, like you said, and you building it up like that. So, that's some good advice. You ever get tired of DJing? Like you ever now that you got your repertoire up there, you got your name out there a little bit more, you ever just get overwhelmed with people constantly asking you to DJ here, DJ there?
A little bit. So my schedule now is probably one of the most difficult things for me to manage. But I love it. You know what I mean? So I feel like there are days where I'm tired, but not of DJing. Okay. Just sleep.
You just want to sleep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely one of those things that I could be tired, or I could be in one mood, and then that crowd gets in there, and you feed off that energy.
So we got our first question from the audience, Miss AK85. She asked, do you develop your playlist before your event, or do you create it based on the vibe of the crowd?
That's an amazing question. So when I was garbage, honestly, when I was garbage, I would spend like 8 hours per event, because I would take like the week before to analyze what kind of event it was going to be, what music they would like, download anything I felt like I didn't have for that event, and then literally put everything in a list for the time frame of the event, and say, okay, I'm gonna play R&B the first hour in this order. I'm gonna play hip hop to speed it up. Then I'm gonna go back down. I'm gonna do old school or whatever. And then once I had the list, I would sit in my room for the next 4 hours and just practice the transitions for all of them. Practice, so that when I got there, I'm really just coughing up what I've done training for 8 hours. I can't remember the last time I did that.
So now you just kind of go off.
It's probably a bad thing, but once you do that, I feel like once you put in the initial work, it's like anything, skating, riding a bike, whatever. Once you put in that initial work, you memorize transitions. It's a lot easier for me now. Like I can just pick a song, or now I can feed off vibe. Right. So I would say someone who's starting out, maybe get your playlist together, because when you're getting your playlist together, you're understanding why I'm playing this song after that song. So you're understanding this keeps this vibe, this changes up this vibe, this does this. And then later down the line, once you've done that for a little bit of time, you can just go somewhere and set up and be like, I'm going to just read y'all and play. And I know what transitions, and I know what does this, and I know what does that.
Yeah, it's kind of like a science now, basically.
Yeah.
And I know what you mean, because like when I first started Talented Tuesdays, I remember I would spend like a whole day writing down 10 to 15 questions that I know I could ask, where now I kind of just add like keywords. I might ask important questions like, what is eclectic soul?
Yeah.
I wrote that down because I wanted to make sure I asked
That's brilliant, by the way.
But but then there's like other times where I just ask experience, meaning tell us about your experience and everything like that. I kind of use keywords now, and I just play the vibe. I want this to be more so a conversation, because in the beginning I learned a lot of questions. You really turn it into an interview, and that's not really what I wanted to do. I wanted to turn it into like a conversation where the guests could talk to us about their journey, how they became a creative, and what they're doing now. So,
for sure.
We got another question from My Little Page. She asked, "Is DJing something that you see yourself doing in the long run, like as a career, and dream of becoming a DJ for like celebrities and big events like that?"
So I'm the kind of guy who does a lot of things. When I started DJing, it wasn't something that I felt like, I'm going to be Khaled one day. But as I progressed, you see the realm of possibility. So I think that's definitely a goal of mine. Long term, it depends. I'm open. So I haven't, put the work in for no reason. But I have other, job opportunities and stuff going on. I don't think I'll ever stop DJing. Okay. I just don't know if I'll be the only thing I do full time. But I'm working with some artists now. So if they blow up, then I'm on tour with them immediately, no questions asked. So it's like, I'm here, I'm ready. What happens, happens, and then I'm going with the punches.
And then since you mentioned DJ Khaled, is music production something that you also like, music engineering and everything? Is that something that you working on too? So I'm working with a couple artists right now. I'm working with Apartment 5, so that's Mark Made and El Kendro. Okay. I'm working with Court, Kid Up Top Notch. I'm working with a young lady named Savannah Christina. And so we do pretty much everything. Like those guys are, that body of work can encompass any kind of music. Yeah. Honestly. So I'm familiar with it. Four of the six that you mentioned.
So it's working with them, in studio, out of the studio, also because a lot of local DJs, who even my friends, don't play a lot of local music. And that's what confused me, because we did it for the love of the music, you feel me? So if you feel like you love something, you should be able to share that love with somebody else, no matter if it got 1 view on SoundCloud or 1 million views on SoundCloud. I know some dudes that be like, I'm not playing that because it's not in the top 10 on Apple Music, you feel me? But if you like the song, you like the song. So I'm definitely one of the guys who plays what I like. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like the eclectic soul on there, because a lot of those songs, 100 views on SoundCloud. But they're good songs.
Definitely. So I appreciate both those questions, Miss AK85 and My Little Page. Great questions. So yeah, back to the DJ Khaled. I didn't even know if DJ Khaled was really like a party DJ. I thought he was just like a engineer or something, somebody that made beats and things like that. But I mean, would you rather see yourself doing more of the like the DJing events, or you know, sitting back in the studio pushing out beats for artists to use?
So I think the thrill of playing a hit record to a crowd trumps everything except playing your hit record to a crowd. So absolutely. I feel like I would take DJing at the highest level unless I'm at the production level and I have platinum records like Khaled and it's actually my record. I feel like that's the only thing that would bring it to the next level.
Are you like, what are you currently doing now to continue to move yourself forward, like investing in yourself and that branding, marketing? Just give us an idea of what you're currently doing to like push yourself forward.
So outside of DJing, just in artistry in general, I've gotten into event curating a little bit more. Okay. So booking artists, booking vendors, to host some concerts and stuff like that.
In terms of investing in yourself for the DJing, how much did the control cost you when you decided to get up and get it?
So the first controller I bought was a DDJ SR by Pioneer. That thing was $500.
Okay.
And at the time, I'm thinking like $500, but that's
man.
Yeah.
A lot of times the first thought is like, dang, that's a lot. That's then like when you really want to do something.
Yeah, that's nothing.
It's nothing.
To what you can make DJing.
Definitely. And then, so you said that was the first one. You have another one? You did an upgrade?
So yeah, I play on everything now. Okay. So I have the SZ, just because it's a little bit bigger, a little bit more inputs. But what's crazy is a lot of the places that I travel to, I still take the first controller I ever bought because it's the only one that you can bus power. You don't need a plug to power it.
Okay.
Like a lot of them, you need like multiple outlets. That one you plug into your laptop with a USB cord and you're good to go.
Oh, now I get what you're saying. So it powers off the
and they're basically, all the Pioneer controllers are basically built the same. If you have a SR, you have the SZ, you have the CDJs, and clubs have the equipment built in. So I just take my laptop. You feel me? So it's not a huge investment, especially if you're doing venues. You could go with your laptop as long as you know how to use the equipment. You feel me?
Yeah. So basically, the biggest investment is your time.
Yeah.
Your time, definitely.
Your time, and I would say get Pioneer controllers only because that's what they use in the clubs and stuff. So if you are gonna buy a cheap one, like there's cheaper than mine, you can get a $250 controller and learn how to play on that, and then go to a club and know what you're doing, and they're not gonna know you got a $200 controller at home. You playing good music. You feel me?
So do you have any like favorite artists, entertainers, DJs that you know kind of like keep you going or anything like that?
So I have a lot of celebrity DJs that I would say I look up to, but the ones that honestly keep me going are like my network of DJs that I met. Okay. So it's people who like I've met in the last 3 years who are kind of in similar positions than I am, maybe a little bit behind me, maybe a little bit ahead, but the work that they put in every day and to cheer each other on, or we see this guy book a gig and be like, yo, that's dope, or you know what I'm saying, I'm hosting a venue so they all come out and show love and support. I feel like that network and camaraderie of like, we all out here, we all doing this. And my biggest thing that I noticed before I started was there's enough room for everybody. A lot of markets are a lot more competitive, I would say, especially even rappers. Like there's way more rappers than there are DJs. Right. And everybody needs music. So it's a lot less competitive market in terms of there's never animosity between, oh, there's not enough gigs. Like that's not gonna happen.
And you even have like events that have multiple DJs.
Exactly.
They're not just looking for one DJ, they're looking for 2, 3 sometimes.
Exactly.
So I get what you're saying there. Now here's something that I wanted to ask. Do you find in Miami that how do I want to word this?
Careful.
Yeah, man. How do I want to word this? Because I talked to Alexis, and we were talking about like how, in some ways, Miami can be like sort of a cold city, even though it's warm. Like in terms of like social life. Okay. You got a lot of, like you said, you have a big network of DJs and entertainers, artists that you cool with. But in terms of like when you work together for that first time, it's all love. But then like, do you find yourself like people start to like distance themselves the more you try to work with them or something like that? Like how?
I think
you get what I'm saying? I'm trying to word it in a question, but I can't really find the words to actually put it in a question.
So it depends on the person, and I feel like I've traveled enough to know that anything that happens is not really that location. Like I used to blame stuff on location. Like I would go somewhere and I'd be like, yo, that place sucks, or this place is great, or this place is this. And it's really just the network of people you know in that environment. So there's definitely people I've met where things are cool, and then, you know, later down the line, you shoot them a text, don't hit back. Shoot them a text, don't hit back. Shoot them a text, don't hit back. But there's also people who you meet, and I've made actually some long-lasting friendships outside DJing. Like I met cats DJing, and we just kick it. You feel me? Because you meet genuine people too. So I feel like it's tick for tack. I don't feel like Miami has it worse than anywhere else. But that's just my network. You feel me?
And what's the farthest distance you had to travel for an event?
Seattle.
Seattle? Did they like pay for like travel and everything like that?
So no. It was a little bit early on, but I used to live in Seattle.
Oh, okay.
So I was able to stay with a family friend out there just kicking. I actually just went because I wasn't doing nothing for the week, and then played 2 events down there.
And they were paid events?
Yeah.
Okay. So they just didn't pay for the travel?
Yeah.
Which is okay because
I was like, I can get to Seattle.
Yeah. So it's funny that Miss AKA asked this question because this was one of my next questions as far as like a one-man show. But she asked, she's old school. She had to mention that. So back in her day, DJs usually had a crew to help transfer equipment, crates, vinyl, and all that other stuff. What are the essential DJ equipments now, and how many is in your crew? Like, do you have a crew, or are you a one-man show?
For sure. So it depends on where I'm at. For both questions, honestly. Equipment, if I'm at a bar, is usually my laptop, my controller, extension cord, power strip, and whatever cables the club uses, whether it's 1/4-inch cables, XLR cables, and that's it. You feel me? If I'm at a picnic or I'm at a venue that doesn't have outdoor speakers, it's all that stuff, and the speakers, the speaker stands, the table, whatever.
And what about a generator, especially if you're outside?
Yeah, outside generator. I mean, you customize for what it never gets too crazy. Setting up equipment is definitely one of the tougher aspects. Like I know there's definitely been some events where I've had to do like residencies where I play every week, and the most exhausting thing is loading up equipment, setting up equipment, breaking down equipment, and going back. You feel me? My crew is probably 8 people just locally, but it depends on what event I go to. Like a lot of stuff I do every week, I pull up by myself.
What methods have you discovered that were good methods in terms of like getting better, perfecting your craft and everything like that?
Trial and error.
Trial and error.
Yeah, I feel like I've met people who have played for 10 years and people who played for 1 year, and I feel like that's along any sport or activity, you can tell the difference. And it's literally about understanding that you can only get so far in your bedroom. And that was the biggest things that, some of the people who taught me from just watching YouTube videos could say. They were like, look, if you want video, if you watching this right now, this is video 111. You need to get out your bedroom, bro. Yeah. You feel me? Like that enough is enough. Like I want the views, but at some point, like, you can't progress in the shadows. Yeah. You gotta get out and you gotta make mistakes and you gotta fail. And the more you do that, the better you're gonna get. So
do you also make mixes that you put on SoundCloud?
Yeah.
Like full mixes and stuff like that?
So I did a lab maybe I would say 6 months ago. Is my most recent lab, where I had an idea where I was gonna make like 8 30-minute mixes and just name them like lab 1, lab 2, lab 3, lab 4, lab 5, and then change the genre. So like one's hip hop, one's R&B, one's baby making music, one's eclectic soul, whatever. But I posted them. I stopped because people aren't watching.
Oh, really?
To be honest, yeah.
Oh, man.
Probably should have kept going, but I was like, I was doing other stuff. And
I gotta get your SoundCloud.
It's time consuming.
Yeah, so, I believe that because you gotta literally be DJing.
It literally goes back to what I was doing when I used to prep for gigs, where it's like pick all the songs, decide what order you want to be them in, practice the transitions, and then mix them perfectly. And then if you mess up at like the 29-minute mark, start over and do it again. That's the first taste of producing I got before I ever produce a track.
That's like screen recording a 2-minute video and then like at 1:45 somebody texts you.
Yeah. There we go. And it's just like
Yeah, but, man. Yeah. So, all right. So I got a couple more questions for Mari. Feel free, like you're doing now, to ask some questions. Anything I might be missing, drop some comments, everything like that. But you know, Mari, tell us a little bit more about your support system. Like, how was that support system from when you first got started to how it is now?
So my support system was honestly friends. So people who knew me, you know, probably before I even started DJing, and it was their artists as well, majority of them. So we support each other. You know, someone's got a show over here, someone's got a concert over here, somebody's recording over here. It's all that, you know, you got me, I got you type of vibe.
Right.
That kind of fostered it, and we honestly met playing basketball. Like, not even related to music at all. So that's kind of where that comes from. And they're homies. So outside of the music scene, we still hang out, we still chill, and then we also get the money together. So
cool. Respect. And okay, so we got another question. What would you say is the most popular get them out their seats song for right now?
Right now, it's that Drake song. I feel like you could like cut this video, and then like 30 years later, if I leave it at that Drake song, people would be like, oh, and say a completely different song, and I'll still be right. You know what I'm talking about? But In My Feelings is the one right now. If y'all watching this 30 years from now, Kiki is the trend.
Yeah, Kiki's definitely trending right now. And you know when you're at a party and then the DJ plays that one song where everybody's standing around the room, like, what is this? Have you ever had one of those moments? That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Okay, so that has happened to me because, again, I'm a guy who plays what I like. And so I'll play a local artist, and it's not like the song is bad. It's just in the club atmosphere, people are used to listening to something they've already heard before. Like, you're playing tracks and people are jamming, it's because they got the lyrics memorized already. Yep. They was jamming this in the car on the way to the club, waiting for you to play it so they could jam it again with their friends. You feel me? So when you play something they never heard, it's not so much a what is he playing? It's more such like a, well, I can't really vibe because
I don't know the song.
I just heard this song. You feel me? So I've had moments like that, and just going with the punches and be like, all right, cool, just next.
Especially DJing for like college parties where you got all the frats and sororities that are waiting for their songs to come on so they can set it off. I know that gotta be frustrated too, because then you probably got them always coming to the booth, say, put this on, put this on.
That's probably part 2 of successful DJing. Learn how to mix, learn how to multitask.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that it's that high, but like I feel like the best in the environment you are in can multitask, because especially if you work in a club, that thing is 1,000 miles an hour. It's I need this, I need that, promoter needs this, promoter needs that, bouncers kicking your friend out. You know what I mean? So it's learn how to multitask, but if you can mix, multitask, network, you're in there, man.
So you must be speaking from experience. So bouncer ever kicked your friend out?
I got kicked out.
You got kicked out?
I got kicked out, bro.
You were DJing the event?
I was DJing the event. What happened was they switched security, right? And so you learn to finesse, you learn to talk about situations, and you know like what not to do and what to do. It's just experience. So I was literally at an event. I opened the club, and I'm leaving my set just to join the regular crowd or whatever, and I got friends come inside. The only thing about club is once it hits like 12 o'clock, 1:30, like between that mark, security gets crazy. All the managers got attitudes. Everybody's a lot harder to deal with. So my friends are having trouble getting in. Tell them you're with Mark. He said he never heard of Amari. I said, bro, I know everybody here. Like, they saying they don't know you, bro. They saying they never heard of you. I'm like, all right, let me go outside. So I go outside, and I actually see somebody I've never seen before. Oh, okay. So I'm looking at the manager like, yo, who is this? He's like, oh, we just hired a new batch of security guards or whatever. I'm like, so yo, like we had a meeting like yesterday. Like, where is this guy or whatever? So before that calm conversation, I go outside, and my friends are by the gate or whatever, and I just walk out, grab them, and I come back. And the guy who I've never seen before stops me. I said, bro, I'm the DJ. Looking around like who's there for approval? Everybody's running around. So he don't want to take my word for it. Nobody's there to be like, yeah, he's a DJ. He's like, yeah, nah, you can't come in. I said, bro, watch out.
Did you have your DJ Mari shirt on?
Nah, I didn't have these back then. That's,
okay.
You feel me? I had a business card. Okay. But I was like, man, watch out. I'm about to go grab the manager. So I go upstairs. I'm looking for the manager. Of course, he's nowhere to be found.
Right.
So the guy comes back. He's like, yeah, you trying to pull a fast one on me. Get out of here. I'm like, bro, I'm not leaving the club. It was a larger gentleman, so I got jacked up and thrown out of the club. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, my friends, I actually got them in, which is crazy. So
you got them.
I grabbed them. I was like, forget you. I'm the DJ. I'm gonna come back with the boss, and then it's gonna be a bigger problem. Like, you're tripping. He got fired though.
Well, man, I bet he did because it's like, man, that's funny though, because like you got kicked out your own party.
Yeah,
So, seeing no more questions from the audience, I'm gonna ask one more question to give y'all some time to ask y'all last minute questions. I see you, Dr. TJ, you just tuned in. Welcome. But Mari, I ask this question every week. It's like my closer. Ask every guest, and it's the red pill, blue pill scenario. Okay. So you take the red pill, you go forward 10 years, and you got $5 million liquid in your bank account from the moment you wake up. Where you take the blue pill, you go back 10 years, but you know everything that you know now. Oh,
you're a fool if you take the red pill. Is that rude? Is that bad to say?
No, man. People said the red pill, but when they said the red pill, I was like, I might take that blue pill.
Yeah, no. We about to have $5 million in like 2 years, so that's not even a good. Blue pill, man. I feel like knowledge is currency. Because period. Blue pill.
And plus, like, I wouldn't want to. Like, I wouldn't want to...
You're killing yourself.
And I want to skip 5 years of my life.
You're killing yourself.
Now, it's one thing to go back. I'm not going back because I'm trying to relive everything.
Yeah.
I'm just going back because, I'd rather go back than to go forward.
To go forward.
Mr. AK85 asks, where you DJing now? What establishment? Or are you kind of like all over the place?
For sure. So I'm mobile. People book me, regularly, and I travel. My residencies are Fado and Brickell. That's across the street from Blue Martini. I do Sandbar and Coconut Grove. I do Gramps and Wynwood occasionally when they book me there. I do the Wynwood Beer Festival, and I do the FIU stuff. So the frat parties at FIU, the ceremonies or whatever have it be.
Okay.
Like that. Come check me out. Instagram, shout outs, I'll DJ Mari on Instagram, I'll DJ Mari on SoundCloud. The mixes, if you want to hear some eclectic soul, some smooth R&B, go to mixcloud.com, DJ Mari Official, type in Lab 4. Wear a condom. Choosing.
Let's talk about choosing. I'm glad you reminded me because I was like, I gotta talk to about choosing, but then I almost forgot, man. So tell us what choosing is and like what made y'all start. Like what made y'all? I'm sure it's a fun game, but what made y'all start this game?
So being in college and seeing people be bored was like.
Yeah, like what?
What? You feel me? Like, especially DJing, I would go places where, people book me for a private party where it's maybe 50 people. And there's 50 people dancing, but they're just like... Like, at a certain point, like, people were playing, like, Uno and that kind of stuff. Like, just when you really want to have a good time, I felt like there was not a go-to guaranteed good time on some just fun card game type joint. So that's really why we brought it about. So choosing is called the Game of Choices. You guys can follow it on Instagram at choosing, CHOOSIN game. Basically what it is it's a game that allows you to shoot your shot. All right, so we got 4 game types. We got game cards, quickie cards, roll cards, dare cards. Game cards are your traditional games. You're gonna play Flip Cup. You're gonna play give me a game.
Kings.
Yeah, so you'll play Flip Cup, you'll play Kings, you'll play whatever. And we have those listed for you guys to pick cards and play. Roll cards create a rule for the entire game. So say every time you pick a card, you got to take a shot. Every time you pick a card, you got to stand up and do something, right? The quickie cards are like versus games. So last person to finish their cup, last person to touch the door, last person to do this, do that. Dare cards is what I feel like separates the game apart from any other game because it's kinky, right? And I don't want to go too kinky because I'm be putting the video everywhere. But it'll say something like, sit on the lap of the person to your left. Every card except the dare card is read aloud. So when you pick up a dare card,
you just gotta do it.
And it says, sit on the lap of your person to your left, you're the only person who knows that. So we've written into the game that you actually get to decide whether or not you want to do that card or lie. So I can say for example, you're to my left. I'm, you know what I'm saying?
You're gonna lie.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell the person to my right to sit on my lap. If it's obviously a girl who I'm choosing on, if she thinks I'm lying, she calls choosing. If she's right, so when she calls choosing, I have to show my card. If she figures out that I'm lying, I have to drink her strip. If I'm telling the truth, she has to drink her strip.
So y'all combined kings, bull. Y'all combined a whole lot of games into one. That's pretty dope. So like in that how successful do you think it's been going so far?
So we actually just mass produced it. We've been doing trials for a while. So we have like the finalized version, maybe a couple copies. We've been going around playing it with people. I'll personally experience tell you that the game is undefeated in terms of good times. I was surprised even how well it worked for people, just because people wanted something, to do. And even the people who are shy, get out of their comfort zone and have a good time, or the people who want to have a good time are the people who are more creative and change up the cards the most. You feel me? So it's been really successful. We roll out full production August 10th.
Okay.
So we have like another week and a half. But you can pre-order the cards. We have a website up and running now, www.choosingusa.com.
Okay.
You can follow me and I'll tell you.
I was just about to ask, where can I get a deck, man? I need a deck. Cool. So, you plugged yourself in. Tell us where else we can find you. Where you got any events coming up, anything like that?
Sure. So literally this Thursday I'll be at Fado and Brickell. Friday and Saturday I'll be at Sandbar and Coconut Grove. The BSU cookout, the CSA cookout, stuff like that. But I always post. I'm doing brunches at Brickell now. It's called Zest Miami and Brickell.
Oh yeah, I've been to Zest.
I'm doing their brunches, so I'm all over the place, but I'm also available.
Always available. Keep the schedule open, man. Follow DJ Mari at I Love DJ Mari on Instagram, Twitter too.
Twitter, I Love DJ Mari.
Okay, and check out the choosing game as well. Get you a deck of choosing cards so you can play with your friends back home and everything like that. I have an
amazing time. I would not be here.
I believe it. I believe it. I'm trying to play.
Nah, you got a deck coming.
Yep. When Bae get home, I'm gonna tell her about the game.
Yeah.
We gonna take it to her friends when we go back up north for a little bit. It's gonna be on. So Mari, it's been love having you on the show. I appreciate all you guys for asking your questions and everything. Sure. I appreciate you for sharing your knowledge about music, DJ, and everything like that. I hope somebody see this video in the future and get inspired to do some more. Whether it be DJing, whether it be rapping, whether it be poetry, being a doctor, anything. Anytime you see a Talented Tuesdays episode, I want to leave you inspired. So I appreciate you for getting on here, sharing your story and how you overcame some of your trials and tribulations, everything like that. Again, I appreciate you guys. This is Kai Speaks, aka Mr. 215 to 305. And yeah. So what you say, ho? I'm the man, ho? DJ Mari.
Kiki.